Hello and welcome to Wednesday afternoon's kitchen table talk. It's good to be here again. My name's Alison. I'm the team vicar in Melksham Team Ministry. How's your day going? Out of my kitchen window there's a huge grey cloud which is looming towards us and looks very wet. That may mean that the light goes suddenly dark. But there is perhaps something appropriate about that shadowy cloud that is moving in the direction of the vicarage. Today I was thinking about several things as I prepared to come and talk to you from the kitchen table. One of them was that this morning I had the privilege to take someone's funeral service for them. But once again, as throughout this coronavirus time, I found it incredibly difficult not being able to hold a hand, lay a hand on a shoulder, or indeed give someone a hug. That physical contact that just lets someone know that you're really caring about them. And that distance that we are now coming to terms with keeping still has an impact on you and on me. The other thing that I was very aware of as I came to the table today was that over the last couple of days, 11,000 people have lost their jobs. And that's the ones we know about. That's 11,000 families that will be feeling the impact of no work, that will be feeling the impact of how do we pay our bills, that will be struggling with the notion of what to do with life now. And that's across the industries, both in the retail business, sandwich making companies, the air industry with EasyJet losing lots of jobs, and indeed the people who are building the airplanes for us to pop on and go on holiday. None of those things are happening as normal. Our world has changed in so many different ways. As I was coming here today and I was thinking about that inability to really connect with someone, I was thinking it was raining as I was preparing to go and take this service. And usually I have somebody around me if I'm taking a service with a big brolly that will come and stand beside me if I need it. To keep me under their shelter. Of course, nowadays we're not doing that. And it made me think about my brollies, my umbrellas that I have, and I have many, how I've been using them and what they are. Last week we were lucky enough to be away for a few days. We had some things to do down in Weymouth and it was very, very sunny. And I found myself taking shade under my brolly from the beating sunshine and 28 degrees. It's hard to think about that this week, but that's how it was. Also, while I was down at my mum's, I came across a brolly that was clear and comes down to about here. You know the kind I mean, so you feel like you're in a bubble. And that brolly really made me think about how we are living now in the COVID times. You wear a brolly that actually works as a mask as well as a brolly. We are protecting ourselves. Part of what I've been talking about over the last few weeks and indeed just yesterday is about how we protect not just ourselves but each other. But I was thinking about what it is to be underneath the shade, under the cover of something that does form that protective layer over you. For me, during this crisis, God has been that protective cover. And although it's been hard and there's been much pain along the way, I have been aware of being able to look through the brolly, if you like, into the light of the sun, or into the shower of rain that falls upon each and every one of us, with a sense that actually there is God's protection for all of us in this. however that looks. I know for those who have lost their jobs, it's hard to find something positive. And yet in the Bible it tells us that God is with us in the coming in and the going out. He's with us in every moment, whether we're standing or sitting, whether we're rushing or being still. He's there, always with us. And there is that protection over ourselves and our souls, if you like. He never leaves us. So as I was thinking about what it is to have that protection from God, I was thinking about what I need inside me to give me the resilience I need to cope with all those emotions that I feel on a daily basis. The frustrations, the sadness, the questioning, and how I am changing and coping with how we are living in these times. For me, I think it's really a day-by-day process. I talked to somebody the other day and asked how she was, and she said, oh, well, that might change second by second. And it really can feel like that, can't it? That in every moment we are on a bit of a roller coaster and we have to adjust and readjust to get our grounding firm, if you like, to find safe ground to stand upon. Things are changing, and in many ways the COVID virus is reducing its frequency within the community that we're living. Of course, there are cities like Leicester who are having a peak at the moment, and that might well be in Wiltshire next or wherever. It will be a feature of life to come. And I think that needs real resilience from all of us to cope with that up and down, that unknown shift that might come at any moment. So for me, that image of God being my overall protector is actually really helpful. Not in terms of protecting me and I will never catch the virus, but in terms of protecting me in the sense that I know that I am His and I am loved and I am cared for. And protecting me in the way that I know I don't walk alone in this journey. The same is true for you, each and every one of you. We do not do this on our own. But over the coming weeks and months, you and I will either be one of those people who are struggling with a loss of a job or the loss of a loved one, or we will know someone very close to us that will be in that position. I pray that we will have the resilience to be able to help one another in that situation, to be that listening ear, to be creative about how we support each other. We won't know how it looks until it faces us, and that's that resilience again. It's that understanding of shifting and changing. But if you meet someone you know and you hear that they've had some bad news, or if you know that they're struggling in ways that they never used to have to struggle, how can we show love and affection? How can we just show that simple act of care? Talking of acts of care, I was actually given this beautiful, gorgeous bunch of sweet peas. Thank you, Heather. That was really, really thoughtful for the kitchen table today. One of my favourite flowers. But you know, it brought me such joy. It's a simple act of kindness, and it can make such a difference to a day. That's what we can do. We can listen, we can share what we have, the gifts we have, and we can be there for one another in these difficult times. The cloud has pushed that grey cloud over. It's probably right on top of the vicarage as we speak, and yet there is sun out of my other window. And that is our life at the moment. It is that unpredictable, cloudy showers and sun coming through. And the one thing we can be sure of, whether it's in the rain or in the sun, we're in this together. And to know that showers do pass. And we will come through this. I'm not going to use Prime Minister-like slogans that we'll build our way out of it. But I do think we can love our way through it and out into the other side. And I know that Jesus is walking with us, showing us how to love, guiding us as we go. So, whatever kind of brolly you need to put up against the shower, next time you put it up, even if it's in the sunshine to keep the shade for you, or to stop a downpour, know that that's just like God, always there, always offering that protection, being buffeted around, no doubt, by the way our relationship is with God, but not with the relationship that God has with us. So next time you put your brolly up in a shower, gaze through the colour, whether it's through the material. Mine, I've got a stripy rainbow one, I've got a spotty one, and I've got a clear one. Whatever you look through, gaze through it and imagine that the light and the colour and the life of God is all around you. And as you walk through the showers, know that they will pass. Take care. God bless. See you again tomorrow.